Imagine a car so bold, so daring in its design, that it not only shocked the automotive world in 1959, but still makes jaws drop over 6 decades later. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala wasn't just another car rolling off Detroit's assembly lines, it was a statement, a rolling sculpture of American dreams, post-war confidence and futuristic ambition, wrapped in gleaming chrome and exaggerated fins. But here's the catch, what you see on the surface is only part of the story. In this special feature, we're going deep, uncovering the 10 most shocking, quirky and emotional secrets of the 1959 Chevy Impala. These are the kinds of details that make this car more than metal. They make it a legend. So buckle up, because once you hear these secrets, you'll never look at the 59 Impala the same way again. 10. The horn ring that drivers kept breaking. Let's start right where every driver grips this beauty, the steering wheel. Now, the 1958 Impala, the car that introduced the nameplate, came with a beautifully styled 2-spoke steering wheel, complete with a full circular horn ring, designed to please both form and function lovers. It was bold, it was elegant, it was fragile. Chevy's engineers soon discovered that this lovely horn ring had a major flaw. In real-world driving, impatient or angry motorists slammed the horn with far more force than the designers ever expected. The upper section of the horn ring wasn't properly supported, leading to cracks, breaks, and yes, angry warranty claims. And this wasn't rare. Across the country, road-raging drivers were unintentionally destroying their fancy new steering wheels. So what did Chevrolet do? They made a quiet but clever change in 19... The full horn ring was replaced by a simpler, stronger design. Only the bottom half of the ring remained. It preserved the car's sporty flair, but avoided the costly problem of shattered horn rings. Practical, smart, and hidden in plain sight. But here's where it gets even better. This small but significant steering wheel change sets the tone for the entire 1959 Impala story. A car where style met real-world experience, and where every tweak told a bigger story about the era's car culture. Speaking of small differences with big stories, let's slide to the rear bumper. 9. The 2 types of rear bumpers. 1 car, 2 stories. Walk around the back of a 1959 Impala at a car show, and you might notice something odd. Some of these beauties have a 1-piece bumper, while others sport a 3-piece design. Wait, why the difference? The reason is surprisingly practical. Impalas sold in California and Canada typically got the 1-piece bumper, sleek, smooth, elegant. Meanwhile, the rest of the US market received the more modular 3-piece bumper. Why? Repair costs. If you dinged one corner of the 3-piece bumper, you only needed to replace that section, not the whole unit. With chrome expensive and labor even pricier, this was a real cost saver in an age before affordable insurance plans. Collectors today sometimes argue over which bumper is better. The 1-piece is rare, seamless, and sought after. The 3-piece is classic, functional, and tells a story of post-war practicality. But here's the kicker. This simple bumper debate reveals the quiet regional differences that shaped American car production. It also leads us to the next odd twist, when the Impala secretly wore another brand's clothes. In 8, Canadian Pontiacs were actually Impalas in disguise. If you bought a 1959 Pontiac in Canada, say a Parisienne or Laurentian, chances are you were actually buying a Chevy. Underneath the distinctive Pontiac sheet metal was the exact same frame and chassis as the Chevrolet Impala. Why the trickery? It all boiled down to import tariffs and production costs. GM of Canada needed to build cars locally to dodge expensive taxes, but they didn't want the cost and complexity of running separate production lines for Chevrolet and Pontiac. The solution? Rebadge Impalas as Pontiacs. This clever shortcut meant these Canadian Pontiacs rode on Chevrolet's shorter wheelbase rather than Pontiac's wider US wide-track design. If you know where to look, the clues are obvious. Misaligned wheel arches, slightly odd proportions, and Impala-shaped bones hiding beneath Pontiac faces. A strange but clever compromise. But GM's penny pinching didn't end there. It crept into the very heart of the Impala's engine bay. Chevrolet made waves in 1957 with their cutting-edge ramjet fuel injection system, a technological marvel that offered better power, efficiency, and throttle response than any carburetor could dream of. It was advanced, it was futuristic, and by 1959, it was gone. What happened? Simple. The public wasn't ready. Fuel injection was expensive, tricky to maintain, and mechanics across America scratched their heads when they opened the hood. Customers grumbled. Dealers sighed. And so Chevy killed it off, at least for the Impala. Instead, buyers got reliable, hearty, carbureted V8s like the now legendary 348 cubic inch engine. Still plenty powerful, but not nearly as space-age. Only the Corvette held on to fuel injection for a few more years. It's a tale of bold ideas crushed by consumer caution, and it reminds us that not every innovation finds its audience right away. But speaking of false promises, number 6. The fake roof vent that fooled everyone. Look closely at the roof of a 1959 Impala hardtop. See that slick little vent near the rear? It looks like it should channel air out of the cabin. A cool touch for those hot summer cruisers, except it's fake. Originally, this was supposed to be part of Chevy's new flow-through ventilation system. Air would rush in the front cowl, sweep through the cabin, and exit gracefully through these rear roof vents. Sounds great, right? Except in real life, the vents sat in a low-pressure zone. Instead of sucking air out, they actually let air back in, blowing dust and fumes into the passenger compartment. Oops. Rather than redesign the bodywork, an expensive and time-consuming fix, Chevy simply sealed the vents shut, and they stayed that way. A non-functional but stylish detail forever frozen in time, a little white lie in steel. But let's move inside the cabin, where a bold design choice made drivers feel like they were piloting a rocket. Number 5. The lowest seating position ever. Step into a 59 Impala, and you're sinking, literally. This car had the lowest seating position of any full-size American car at the time. Why? Blame the era's obsession with making cars lower, longer, wider. The Impala's roofline sat at a mere 59 inches. To make room for driver and passengers, Chevy bolted the seats almost directly to the floor. It created a strange, legs-stretched forward driving posture, more sports car than family sedan. Younger drivers loved the feeling. Older folks, especially those in suits and hats, grumbled about the awkward ingress and egress. The seating change reflects GM's constant tug-of-war between style and usability, a theme that continues into the car's most iconic feature, those outrageous tailfins. Number 4. The tale of the Batwing tailfins. The Impala's Batwing fins are legend, but they almost didn't happen. Behind the scenes, GM's top men, legendary stylist Harley Earl and brilliant engineer Ed Cole, battled playfully over their size. Earl would carve deeper, wilder fins into the clay models, dreaming of space-age drama. Cole, usually the voice of reason, surprised everyone by grabbing a sculptor's tool and pushing the fins even bigger. It was a rare moment, engineer and designer united in making a car more extreme, not less. The result? The deepest, most sculptural fins Detroit had ever dared, but those wings hid a secret cost-cutting trick. Number 3. The tail fin cheat, to save money. Each Impala fin was made from 2 metal panels joined together. Normally, factory workers would laboriously metal finish the seam, smoothing it to invisibility. But not here. To save money, GM left the top half unfinished, because nobody could see it from street level. Only the lower portion was polished to perfection. The upper seam, hidden from view, remained rough, smart, thrifty, invisible. It saved pennies per car, but multiplied by hundreds of thousands, it was real money. A tiny hidden compromise that spoke volumes about the auto industry's secret balancing act, beauty versus budget. Speaking of sharing parts, the Impala's very body hid another shocking secret. Number 2. The shared body with Buick. The 1959 Impala wasn't entirely Chevrolet's design. In a panic to catch up with Chrysler's stunning forward-look cars, GM scrapped its original 59 plans and rushed out an all-new design in record time. To save months, they shared key body components across divisions. Buick's engineers led the body structure design, and Chevy borrowed parts like the windshield, roof, doors, and floor pan. Sure, the front and rear styling remained pure Chevrolet, but deep down, this Impala was closer to a Buick than anyone realized. A reminder that even legendary cars can have shared DNA. And finally, the strangest revelation of all, number 1. The wild prototypes that almost happened. Before the final 1959 Impala was born, GM designers built radical clay models that were rejected. Imagine this: 4 vertical headlights stacked in the grille, giving the car a robotic, insect-like stare. Or twin tailfins. 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, like a jet plane caught mid-transformation. These wild ideas were scrapped, but they show just how bold and crazy GM's designers were willing to be. The 59 Impala you know and love was the safe version, and that, friends, is why the 1959 Chevrolet Impala remains unforgettable. It wasn't the fastest car or the most high-tech, but it was brave, daring, willing to break rules in the name of style, drama, and sheer emotional impact. Every quirky horn ring, every secret weld, every towering fin tells the story of an era when cars weren't just transportation, they were dreams in steel and chrome. Have you ever seen a '59 Impala in person? Maybe driven one? Share your memories in the comments below, because this car's story is still being written by fans like you. And if you enjoyed this journey into automotive history, hit that like button, subscribe for more classic car secrets, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust us, the world of vintage cars is full of surprises, and we've only just begun. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep driving those dreams.